submitting myself at the lotus feet of Supreme Godhead Bhagwan Sri Swaminarayan. Jai Swaminarayan. Dear student, God is always merciful, but He waits and tests His beloved devotee. Let me tell you one such charitra, that how Bhagwan Swaminarayan had tested and protected His beloved devotee named Sundarji Bhai Soni. Sundarji Bhai was a stern devotee of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. He was honest and respected jeweler from Mekpur village. He used to get gold and precious ornaments from Jamnagar district. The population of the Mekpur village was approximately 1,000, where everyone had a huge respect towards Sundarji Bhai. Sundarji Bhai used to visit Jamnagar district regularly for gold supplies, and Darbar Dev Singh Ji would accompany him because the way was difficult and risky. The dacoits used to harass and take away all the belongings from the innocent people, and if in need, they used to kill the innocent people. But this time, Darbar Dev Singh Ji was ill, whereas Sundarji Bhai was really in need of supplies. So before moving to Jamnagar district, Sundarji Bhai thought, in case I have to stay there overnight, I have to carry something along with me. Thus, Sundarji Bhai carried his clothes, puja bag and food. Dear student, you all are familiar with this, that a devotee of Bhagwan Swaminarayan will never consume outside food. Here it so happened, Sundarji Bhai carried his own food from his house to Jamnagar. He went ahead. Along with him, someone has accompanied Sundarji Bhai on the way. And finally, both of them reached Jamnagar district safely. Sundarji Bhai got his supplies, but by then it was late evening. Sundarji Bhai then halted at the supplier's house. The very next day early morning, Sundarji Bhai performed his morning puja and then left towards Mekpur village. But this time Sundarji Bhai was alone, and the way was still risky. But keeping faith on Bhagwan Swaminarayan, chanting Swaminarayan, 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 Sundarji Bhai headed on. Sundarji Bhai had walked continuously for 3 hours and finally reached a dense forest. On this way, many robberies had happened in the past, and the way was 2 miles long. On the other side of the way, there was a river. As the way was dense and risky, although Sundarji Bhai, being a devotee of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, he did not fear. He had firm faith on Bhagwan Swaminarayan. All of a sudden, Sundarji Bhai heard a sound of horse hooves. Now, Sundarji Bhai understood that someone is following him from the back. He was none other than the robber. The robber yelled saying, "Hey you man, stop right there. Don't move even a single step ahead." Sundarji Bhai stopped. The robber came near to Sundarji Bhai and threatened him, "Give me whatever you have right now. If you won't, then I won't spare you." Dear students, Sundarji Bhai was faithful but not fearful. I repeat, Sundarji Bhai was faithful but not fearful. He knew that Bhagwan Swaminarayan is almighty and all-doer. Without the wish of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, not even a single leaf can move. The robber took everything from Sundarji Bhai and told him, "Whomsoever you want to remember, do remember, because this will be the last moment of your life. If I leave you alive, you may disclose me to the public and to the king." Dear students, to understand this charitra in a better way, just imagine if you are surrounded with such a situation, what will be your wish? What will be your last thought? What will be your last decision? Just think yourself. Well, let's continue the charitra. The robber threatened Sundarji Bhai, but Sundarji Bhai had firm faith on Bhagwan Swaminarayan. His belief was such that if Bhagwan Swaminarayan wants to kill me, then nobody in this world can protect me. And if Bhagwan Swaminarayan wants to protect me, then nobody in this world can kill me. Dear students, see the understanding of Sundarji Bhai. His understanding was such that either today or tomorrow, I and everyone in this world had to leave this body, have to leave this world and go to divine abode of God, that is Akshardham. Then why not today? Thinking this, Sundarji Bhai sat at a corner, closed his eyes and started remembering Maharaj. The robber waited for a while. Then he took out his sword and swung the sword on the neck of Sundarji Bhai. To be surprised, dear student, nothing happened to Sundarji Bhai. The robber still made many attempts to kill Sundarji Bhai. It was just like hitting a bunch of cotton. Out of anger, the robber grabbed the neck of Sundarji Bhai. Dear students, when someone harasses a devotee of God, how can Bhagwan Swaminarayan just let his devotee grabbed by such a robber? The God will never be silent. God will never be quiet. God will always be set ready to protect his beloved devotee. All of a sudden, the robber heard a shivering roar of a lion. Before the robber could see the lion jumped onto the robber and tore his body into pieces. Seeing such a ferocious lion, Sundarji Bhai jumped into the river. The ferocious lion had destroyed the body of the robber within no time. As Sundarji Bhai came out of the river, to be his surprise, he saw Sahajanand swami out of lion. He was surprised and rushed towards Maharaj, fell at the feet of Maharaj. Oh Maharaj, you have saved me even today, and you have proved that you are ultimate savior of your devotee. Maharaj kept both the hands on Sundarji Bhai and blessed him and asked him to ask for a boon. Tears were flowing from the eyes of Sundarji Bhai. Prayed, "Oh Maharaj, I don't want anything except you. You always be in my heart and bless me with your darshan." Maharaj blessed Sundarji Bhai and disappeared. Sundarji Bhai went to his village Meghpur and shared this incident with his family members, relatives as well as the villagers. Everyone whoever have heard this incident were surprised, and they understood that Bhagwan Swaminarayan is ultimate God. Dear students, how Bhagwan Narsimha saved his beloved devotee Prahlad ji. Similarly, we have seen in this Charitra that how Bhagwan Swaminarayan protected his beloved devotee Sundarji Bhai Soni. Dear students, once a man asked to God, "God, you are available everywhere, you are present everywhere. Then why don't you listen to my prayer? Then why don't you fulfill my wishes? Then why don't you bless me with your darshan?" Listen the fantastic answer given by God. God said, "My dear child, it's true that I am present everywhere. But I am like Wi-Fi. You need to connect with me with a correct password. And the password is faith." So dear students, if we have firm faith on God, then God is always ready to protect us anytime, anywhere, in any form. Let us be a true devotee and a faithful devotee of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. And God is always with us to protect us. Thank you. Jai Swaminarayan.